YouTube, we're back. This is part 2 of the series with the 3,000 mile update. How are things going? What am I liking? What am I disliking? We're going to focus on the dislikes. What hasn't been going well? No, where to begin? Jeez. So, I guess first and foremost, you've watched the videos, you know my gripes about the heat. I'm in northern Minnesota, it is cold here in the winter, okay? Here's, bar none, what I'm sticking with, and I'm firm on this, is this vehicle, this Mach GT, has a subpar heating system when it gets below zero. There's no way around it. So I'm talking below 0 Fahrenheit. Now, I always hear from people who are like, well, it's cold here too. You know, I'm at 5 degrees or I'm at 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me tell you, there is a huge difference in how this vehicle performs at positive 10 degrees Fahrenheit and negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Huge. I'm telling you, it makes a difference, okay? So at 10 below or colder, the heat is just, it can't keep up. All right, if you precondition the vehicle, so you're plugged in, set a departure temperature, precondition the vehicle, it will start out going well. It'll be okay. You know, if you've got a 15-minute, maybe even a 20-minute commute, you'll probably be all right. But after about 20 minutes, the temperature starts dropping and the system is unable to keep up. So I've done tests where I'm going 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or even longer, and the system cannot keep up. It's 15 degrees below zero or something, you will be cold. That's just the way it is. With an ICE vehicle, with our V6 Highlander, my V8 Silverado, no problems at all with heat keeping up. I could be in my t-shirt in the vehicle and be just fine. That is not the case in this vehicle. I've heard from some other people at comments that have been at like Ford meetups, Mach-E meetups, and supposedly the Ford engineers are aware of this and there may be a software fix coming in the future. I'm sort of holding out for that because I don't know if I'm going to go through another winter if there is no fix. Now, I don't have any plans to get rid of this vehicle right now at least, but if there is no fix by next winter, I might have to consider my options, okay? So I've got this covered extensively. I've got a lot of videos out on the heater, so feel free to look at those. We're going to move on. What else don't I like? The FordPass app. So that's been clunky. Now, the app's been around for a long time, so why is it still fairly crummy? I don't know. You'd think that they'd have it figured out by now. But the key for that FordPass app, well, no pun intended there, but certainly you can use that as your key for the vehicle, which is actually quite handy at times. But also, that's one of the easiest ways to set up your departure schedule and to even use kind of the remote start feature, if you will. Here's the problem though, I got about a 50% success rate with the departure schedule. Now I've updated the app, I know that my vehicle software is up to date, I'm making sure I'm paired with Bluetooth, I've even reinstalled the app, and for whatever reason, 40 to 50% of the time, the departure schedule just doesn't work. It just doesn't start the vehicle and, you know, get going. And so I've been able to verify this multiple times. Of course, you get into the vehicle and it's cold. That's your dead giveaway that it didn't work. But I've been plugged into like a ChargePoint network controller. And so I can see, like, you know, the vehicle's almost fully charged. So it's only drawing like 1200 watts or something on the ChargePoint. What should happen is when that departure schedule kicks in, and if it's very cold out, it might start preparing for drive is what it says. In the Ford app, preparing for drive, it might start saying that when it's working about 90 minutes before you're actually leaving. Now what that's doing is it's starting up the PTC heater and it's starting to warm the batteries, okay? So as soon as that happens, I can look at that ChargePoint controller and watch it go from like 1200 watts back up to like 6,000 watts. So I know that it's now drawing power from the grid as it's starting that heater and starting to condition the batteries. And then usually 15 or 20 minutes before your departure schedule time, it'll then start preconditioning the cabin. For whatever reason though, 40 or 50% of the time, it just doesn't work. It's like the vehicle falls asleep, it forgets what time it is, and it doesn't work. It doesn't start going. Now that can be a big problem, especially if you're parked outside and you know you're gonna be uncomfortable. There's no way around that. You're just gonna be uncomfortable and cold. So that's been super annoying. And even as of you know, March 21st, but the last time I used the departure schedule, just didn't work. And I don't get it. I don't get why it does that. It really doesn't make sense. I've, you know, driven the vehicle within like 10 hours, so it's not like it's been sitting for a month. You know, the times are up to date. I don't get it. That's been really frustrating though. Also, there seems to be a quirk. I've been able to replicate it now about a half dozen times. So it's cold out, so I don't know what temp. Let's just say like 5 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? Vehicle's cold, been outside for a while. You bring it inside to a heated garage for a period of time. Let's say 4 hours. You start the vehicle and then you leave the garage to go, you know, do something. I don't know what happens, but I've shown this in another video. A fan system starts and it goes 100 miles an hour, like it's trying to hyper cool the vehicle, like it's sensing that it's like cold. And the air dams in the front are wide open, and man, does that thing move some air. You put your hand by it and it is sucking some air through there. I don't know why that's doing that, but the vehicle certainly will never warm up, your interior temp, when that happens. The only way I've been able to alleviate that, you can't just like start or stop the vehicle and restart it. That doesn't work. The only way I've been able to fix that is by parking it in a heated garage overnight. Then it's like the system resets itself, or something warms up. I don't know, whatever the case is, and then it works again. But that's a big deal, because if you did that prior to going on a road trip, you're gonna be freezing cold. I don't know. I'm hoping it's just a quirk or some type of bug that they're gonna be able to work out. But that's kind of a big deal to me, all right? So that's a big one. Another frustration, and I've mentioned this before too, the guessometer on the range, it's all over the place. You might start going and you're like, oh, it's got 190 miles of range, and I swear you look down 10 minutes later and you're down to like 138 miles of range or something. It's just like, where did that go? How are you guessing this? And again, that fluctuates with your driving style, but primarily the temperature. In the winter, it's no secret with an EV, you're gonna get much worse mileage. It's just taking a little getting used to, just to look at that. You know, certainly not a deal breaker, I guess, but just something that you got to be aware of. The Bluetooth. Again, I've got a new phone. Bluetooth has been hit or miss. Sometimes it just drops the connection. It seems to be, people are griping about it in the forums, so it's not specific to just this vehicle. I don't know if it's a little gremlin or again some type of software update that they got to do, but the Bluetooth has been not the best with staying connected and transferring data and all that. So those are just some kind of fairly big ones, I guess. Excuse me. But if they can get the heat stuff figured out and whatever's going on with that system wanting to try to overcool itself when that doesn't need to be, you know, things will be a lot better. So I'm really hoping they come around with that, but those have been some big gripes of mine. So let me know in the comments, have you been experiencing this? What has been working well for you, and certainly what hasn't been working well? Maybe if enough people comment and tell us what's going on, we can sort of show to Ford, hey, we're having some issues here, and it's not just a few people. There's a lot of people that are having this. So be sure to sound off in the comments. Let us know what's been troublesome for you. Maybe we can all get it fixed together. So hope you guys are doing well. Leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, do so, please. We'll keep you posted on some more Mach videos coming up here. Take care, guys. We'll see you on the next one.